So guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we finally reached 40, I think it's 41 degrees right now, and I gotta hurry up and take these covers off before the sun starts peeking out here and heating things up underneath the plastic. I covered, here I have onions, two different, or actually I think I had 3 different varieties of onions. Some kale in the middle there, and then those other 2 beds way down at the other end are my Sicilian garlic. You know what? I was looking through the plastic, and you know what? I think they fared pretty good. I think they'll make it. Even my kale and my Chinese cabbage, I think they're gonna make it. So only thing I'm gonna do right now is get the bricks out of here, take the plastic off, and we'll see if they fared pretty good. Now I did put the plastic on here before we got that cold front come through. I put wooden stakes up to hold the plastic up above the plants. I didn't know it was going to snow that bad. I thought it was just going to be a light dusting, because usually when it gets really cold you don't get much snow. But we had some 4 inches or something like that. It was enough weight to push it down through the, through the sticks there, and so everything got smashed. But looking through the plastic, it looks like it survived, but we'll see. So I'm going to take that off now, and we'll see what it looks like. You know, it doesn't look that bad. Not bad at all. It's smashed. Other than that, I think it'll come back. Sprout from the middle again. So I think it'll be alright. You know what, guys, I think my kale made it, no problem. That plastic with the snow on top acted as a blanket, and I think it's a little beat up, but I think it'll make it, no problem. Not a problem at all. This here is a red Russian kale. Nice. Yeah, no problem. It looks like my garlic made it with no problems. It's a little smashed, but it's alive, no problem. So the beautiful blossoms I had on my peach tree here didn't quite make it. So new ones will eventually come out this spring, and hopefully we'll get some fruit out of this tree. Also, with my Anna's apple tree here, all the blossoms died, so it will have to restart new blossoms and start over again. So again, it looks like it's smashed, but I think it'll make it because the leaves are not froze. You can tell they're not frozen. This one might be a little bit here, but my main concern was that it would sprout from the middle again. Resprout and start growing again. But you know what? They're not frozen, and it looks like the plastic really worked. I don't know if it shocked them and they might go right to seed. You know, they might bolt. But it did help them to survive the single-digit temperatures we had here. We went down to about 5 degrees. Unlike my Swiss chard here, it didn't make it. I didn't have it covered, and as you can see, the leaves froze. Now this Swiss chard I was going to pull out anyways because it's old. It's like 3 years old now, and I'm going to replant this year from seed, all new Swiss chard. So as far as damage here on the homestead, I am very grateful. I thank God we didn't have anything major happen here like I've heard other places around Texas that were pretty bad. The only thing I had was a branch came down because it was loaded up with ice, came down and hit the fence here and busted my fence. To me, that's no big deal. That's something I can fix. Just another thing on the list to do. So I just cut the wood up there, and I have tons of broken branches all around the property that eventually I got to get to and put through my wood chipper, and that'll also be used to put around my trees and stuff like that for mulch. Grub Terra, they love this stuff. This is what you want? Huh? This is what you want? Oh, yeah. Don't eat my fingers. Don't eat my fingers, though. There you go, a little skittish. Chickens. You've got to get chickens. If you can have them, get them. During a food shortage, these things produce enough eggs to feed us, no problem. Oh, Lily. I'll be getting my new chicks. Their hatch date is today. Hopefully I'll get them tomorrow or the next day. And once the new chicks are around 3, well, I'm gonna put her back within the next day anyways, today or tomorrow. Once these new chicks get, I don't know, about 3 or 4 weeks old, where they can yeah, I know, where they can kind of care for themselves pretty much. I'm going to put her in here and let them get used to each other. So, yeah, we're just going to do that. I'm kind of worried about putting her in there when they're just little baby chicks, if she's going to peck on them or, you know, kill them or what. So, I don't know. I don't know. I'd rather play it safe. Alright guys, I'm in my greenhouse here and I want to talk to you about preparedness. We moved out here 5 years ago from Houston because we want to get away from the congestion and the chaos in the cities and just all the mess that's down in there. We moved out here, started our own little garden, or little garden, but a good sized garden, orchard. We have a 100 by 200 foot orchard garden mixed in with it. We produced a ton of food for the last 2 years in this garden. I tried the back to Eden, it just doesn't work here for me. I tried it, you can't produce good soil by throwing wood chips on top of it, okay? Not in the short term. I would rather amend the soil and start producing food immediately. So that's what I did, and we started producing food. We have more food than I know what to do with. Tons of food. Whereas the 3 years I tried with the back to Eden garden, it just didn't work for me. Nothing, produced nothing. It was nitrogen deprived. As the wood chips break down, they pulls nitrogen out of the soil and the wood chips, and you produce basically nothing. If you're going to do the back to Eden garden, make sure you get your soil down right first. Amend it till the organic matter in it, and then you can lay your wood chips on top and try that. Maybe that'll work for you. But again, we produced a ton of food. Now we started our greenhouse here. We're learning how to produce food in the summer and produce food in the wintertime. We're doing all this because we want to be more self-sufficient, obviously, not be dependent on the system. And that's the whole problem, is everybody in the cities is dependent on the system. When everything's working great, it's very convenient. You got your grocery stores that are just a mile away. You got your hardware stores. You got this store, that store, all kinds of different stores. Everything is wonderful. Everything works great. But when one link gets broken in that chain, everything falls apart, right? Electricity goes out, you can't go out shop anymore. The grocery stores don't work anymore. Registers don't work anymore. It just gets out of hand. Now with this cold front that come through here and in Texas, things got really bad. When the electricity went out, people panicked. They rushed to wherever they had to go, grocery stores, fast food joints. I seen lines at the fast food joints that it looked like they were a mile long just to get into a fast food joint that was open, that happened to be open, that had electricity. Grocery stores, long lines in Houston just to get in. And when you did get in, what did you find? Empty shelves, empty freezers. Everything was empty. And people were just jam-packed. Even the home improvement stores, their plumbing departments were just emptied. I'm afraid to go down there right now to see what it looks like, because everything's missing. Everything's gone because people were trying to fix their pipes and trying to get things ready to fix their pipes. People were not prepared for what was coming. You've seen what we went through last year with all the virus and all that stuff, the lockdowns. They're talking about the next pandemic will be 10 times worse. Like this is all ready and planned out, you know. 10 times worse. I mean, that's horrible. Think about that. How bad this was, and how many people lost their lives because the majority were either elderly or very unhealthy. How many people lost their lives to this, and they're predicting the next one's going to be 10 times worse. So people, what I'm saying is get out of the cities, move into the countryside, try and find a few acres, a nice clean comfortable home. Doesn't have to be anything spectacular. You don't have to impress anybody like you do in this, like most people do to keep up with the Joneses, right? I'm over that. I'm done with that. You need to get a clean, comfortable house on a few acres, at least a few acres, to grow your own provisions, store food up. I'm not saying hoarding food, but store food up where you can have food for many, many months, if not a year, okay? We purchased a vacuum sealer. We can vacuum seal all our dry goods, all your legumes, your beans and all that stuff, rice, those kinds of things, pastas. You can store those up in vacuum sealed bags and they'll last for many, many, many years. We bought a freeze dryer. We're going to get all the produce that we produce, not all, but the majority of it, stuff that we can't eat, of course, and we're going to be freeze drying it for long-term storage. Now, freeze drying food, put them in Mylar bags. They can last 25 plus years, okay? You just have to rehydrate them and you're good to go. We got this greenhouse here. The greenhouse we produce, we got here carrots that we've been eating, just stuffing ourselves. These carrots are so incredibly sweet. I can't even, they were called, I wanted big carrots, right? These are called Imperator 58s. I planted them a little too close together, but you know, it's a learning experience for me. But they are so incredibly sweet. All the stuff you see back here is lettuces that now bolted. And I'm going to be pulling the majority of them out. I'm just going to leave a few and let them go to seed. We might replant again because we're going to have a few more months of cool weather. But anyways, we were eating lettuce to our heart's desire. This side here we've had broccoli, cabbages, cauliflower, spinach. We've been eating, oh, they're so incredibly sweet and delicious. So yeah, I'm really working towards and figuring out, because this is a work in progress for me. I had no experience in this. We moved out here, I was dumb as a box of rocks when it came to gardening and stuff. I didn't know anything. So by trial and error, seeing what other people do, and trying to figure things out, and trying to do things the way that were done biblically, that have been done for thousands and thousands of years, is amend the soil, dung it, right? Put dung in there, compost, manure, all that stuff. I produced a ton. We had so much food. We were giving it away to friends and neighbors and stuff. But it was all a learning experience for me. And then once we produced all this food all at this one time, how do we store it? You know, we got to figure out how to store. So we looked into storing food. So the vacuum sealer came in there, and the freeze dryer. We're going to be using that a lot this year. We are learning at this. So this produced more food at one time that we could possibly eat. We were eating to our heart's content. It was actually really nice. You know, I've never grew my own lettuce before, because usually it's too hot here, you know. But during the winter, you can grow a lot of stuff here in the south. So again, I'm not experienced, you know. I'm not a pro at any of this stuff, but I'm learning. And in doing so, we're feeding ourselves, okay? I'm not dependent solely on going to the grocery stores. Now, yes, we go there occasionally to buy certain things, rice and things like that. But I'm also buying a lot of this stuff online in bulk, in 50, 55-pound bags. We are freeze drying all that stuff. And I'm sorry, we're not freeze drying it. We are vacuum sealing all that stuff. There's places online you can order bulk beans, all kinds of beans. We always try to go organic. You know, I always strive to go organic, because it's the natural way. It's best for you. You don't want chemicals and junk in your body. But do what you can do to sustain yourself in times of trouble like this. Okay. So again, people, get out of the cities and find some place in the country where you can commute back and forth to work. I understand, I was there too, where you're stuck in the cities because of your job. If you can work remotely, then that's a huge blessing right there. And if you can find a place in a small town somewhere, we have a few small towns, or small cities I call them, around me where, you know, if it really came down to it, you could live in the country and be 20-30 minutes away from a small city and work there, and there's no traffic out here, none whatsoever. Even the smallest city nearest me, during traffic hour, which are around 5:30, there is none. And it's beautiful. Alright guys, that is about it for my rant here. Get ready. Prepare yourselves. I sound like a prepper, but I guess I am. You know, to a certain point, we all have to be preppers, right? Prepare yourself for what's coming down the pipe, and get ready, because things are not going to get better. Try to be more self-sufficient. Get out of the cities, and prepare. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video.